Well, one time, Soodle suggested going out for a night out. Willy and Norton both agree. Of course, I want to go out too. Lawton suggested bringing your girlfriend. Then press your ear with your left hand. Probably texting his girlfriend through the World Wide Web. Sure enough, not for a while. A beautiful woman suddenly appeared in front of us. This beautiful woman looks from behind. Height and build are about the same as power. Very beautiful from the front. Everything looks so delicate. Comparative power. Look good. And she comes up to me. Look into my eyes. Because she is so beautiful. Plus, I'm naked. Very stressed. Involuntarily took a step back. She spoke to me. Are you the ex-brother from Earth? You look beautiful. It's just too tall. Can I touch you? Okay, I promised. But the thought of being naked. I'm very nervous. Where will he touch me? Fortunately, he just touched my hand. Then tell me to bend over. Touched my cheek again. This is the first time I have ever touched the skin of a guest star. It feels extremely smooth. It's just freezing cold. A little hard and not soft enough. Norton's girlfriend said excitedly. The skin of Earthlings is warm. It's different. Norton and Subtle are both smiling. Only Willy doesn't seem very happy. Not to be outdone. Also press and hold your ear to send a message to your girlfriend. Soon. His girlfriend also suddenly appeared in front of us. The figure and height of Soodle's girlfriend. Just like Willy and the others. The face is also very beautiful and delicate. But Soodle's girlfriend is obviously a little flirty. His eyes sparkled like diamonds. And most of all, the skin around his eyes. It looks like gray metal. He put his arms around Subtle's waist. Stare with faint eyes. And I whispered something to Subtle. A warm translation immediately appeared in my ears. Is this big guy from Earth? It's big. Are Earthlings stupid? Not stupid. He is very smart. This is how Subtle answered his girlfriend. At this point, Norton suggested, let's go out and play now. Willy, what about your boyfriend? I kindly ask. Willy didn't answer me. But close your eyes. Throw your chin back. Head nodded up. I didn't understand what he meant. Don't you have a boyfriend yet? Are you his boyfriend? Soodle says. When we first met, don't you promise to arrange a girlfriend for you? That's him. Really, Willy? Am I your boyfriend? Are you my girlfriend now? I can't believe it. Turn around and ask Willy. You are not my boyfriend. You are my food. Willy is arrogant. Looking up dismissively. What? I am your food. I don't understand what Willy said. Subtle laughed. Willy said you were his food. In fact, the translation is inaccurate. The accurate translation should be that you are not my boyfriend. You are my toy. And Norton interjected. This translation is not accurate enough. You are not my boyfriend. You are my pet. So that the translation will not be misunderstood. Don't be afraid. Willy won't eat you like food. So aid Subtle cryptically. He will be nice to you. You can feel his tenderness. There we go. Lawton waved his hand. This action is exactly the same as that of us Earthlings. The 6 of us walked out like this. Norton and Subtle both put their arms around their girlfriends' waists. Very intimate look. I don't have the guts to hug Mighty's waist. I didn't even have the courage to hold her hand. I didn't talk about girlfriends at that time. Plus being naked. It was embarrassing. But I feel the power. He didn't mean to hold my hand. So I'm staying behind Willy. Shopping with Norton Soodle and the others. The night of the Nemesis Ball is brightly lit. If you don't look closely, you might think it's one of the largest cities on Earth. Just passing by. There are also many buildings in the starry sky that are not in contact with the ground. There is no support at all down there. Many of the virtual buildings appear particularly large. These massive virtual buildings, there's all kinds of Gakko scripts and some patterns. The text and the images are enormous, completely suspended in the air. No connection to the building. Definitely virtual technology. I followed them, thinking, they don't eat, they don't drink. Impossible to go to restaurants and bars. What tricks can they play? We walked up to a huge building. Facing is a huge door. It could be virtual. A virtual human floats in from within. Float to us. Keep shaking your body. Say hello to us. So I took a look at this virtual human. It looks like a little boy, holding a spear-like weapon in his hand. There is a row of goblin text floating around. I glanced at the text. Kerwin explained to me. This row of goblin characters means Weird Castle. This virtual little boy. It's the digital avatar of the place. The quirky castle is his signature. When also explained that there are many places and units on Gothic, like a river or a lake, a residential area, a play area. There will be avatars. Some very important units. For example, the Hospital Scientific Research Information Processing Center, Global Sports Network Headquarters Human Replacement Center, etc. Virtual spokespersons and signatures in these places. It won't change for thousands of years. And some game venues change frequently. Norton and Willie. They ignored the virtual spokesperson. It feels like we're drifting in through the door. There are a lot of people inside. It was so loud. Approaching the dance hall on Earth. At a glance, I saw a lot of goths lined up in 2 rows. The middle one is very long. Rectangle cabinet similar to glass. The width is estimated to be 2 meters. The length is hard to say. You can't see your head at a glance. It's filled with water. There are many villains much smaller than the goths, dancing in the water. People who look at the appearance of the glass cabinet. There were people dancing to the beat. I asked Norton, the little guy in here, is it made by virtual imaging technology? No, you guessed wrong this time. The little people inside are all real people. On the goblin ball, is there anyone smaller than you? We Goks are all the same height. This is using artificial fields. Alters the space around the object. It's an illusion. If these people come out of it, they are about the same height as us. I don't believe it. We can try it for you. Norton finished. Ask your girlfriend to dance in too. His girlfriend said yes, and walked up to a circular table nearby. Suddenly, a transparent cylindrical cylinder similar to glass fell on it. Cover up Norton's girlfriend. And then a giant arm-like thing. Put this cylinder, along with Norton's girlfriend. It's very quick. Less than a second. Just a flash. Norton pointed to a man in the glass cabinet and said, "She's his girlfriend." And I looked up. Sure enough, it's his girlfriend. It's just that the body gets smaller. I also changed my clothes. Turned into a tight swimsuit. He saw us too. Wave your hands to us. And they started dancing. How do they breathe in the water? I saw that they had no breathing apparatus. We gawk. Starlings sometimes don't need to breathe. Because the human factory can provide us with blood oxygen remotely. Norton girlfriend wearing a swimsuit. The figure is more exposed. It came close to us while dancing underwater. It's coming towards us. When you turn around again, I see the buttocks behind it. My heart skipped a beat. It's very tempting. An instinctive urge. I feel a little uncomfortable. He glanced at Norton. Norton didn't seem to care. I take another look. Might. There are some inexplicable expressions. And Subtle gets her girlfriend to go dancing in the water. But his girlfriend refused. After a while, Norton's girlfriend is out. The swimsuit is also changed to the original clothes. Then we saw a big glass house. There are lots of blue balloons inside. Each of them is about the size of a basketball. I see. Someone slowly walks in through the transparent glass walls. So I went in. I have a feeling that my body is melting into glass. But the body is still relaxed. Entered the blue glass room. The glass room is bottomless. I keep falling down. But the blue balloon down there is very dense. It rolls very fast. I ended up being dragged up by the tumbling balloon. Balloons are smooth, slightly attractive to human skin. Rubbing on my skin. It feels like soft skin is touching me. Very comfortable. I'm rolling in a blue balloon. Soon. And I saw balloons of all colors and all sizes. Some were actually able to slowly pass through my body. And inside the human body, causes a feeling of light friction. It also seems to affect people's emotions. Make people feel better. Sometimes I feel like I'm soaking in liquid. But it has no effect on breathing at all. And finally, everyone goes in along a long aisle. It's surrounded by rows of houses. The walls may be virtual. There are all kinds of balloons in it. But most of them are not played. I suddenly have a feeling of being wasteful. The hallway floor is very clear. It seems to be made of metal, emitting a faint blue light. And we walked. We walked. High, dark walls appeared on either side. The sky is also black. Can't see the stars above. I guess it's still indoors. Blue light on the ground. Illuminated us all blue. Norton and Sudale were both walking hand in hand with their girlfriends. I'm still walking in tandem with Willie. Suddenly, something stuck out of the dark wall, shooting out a beam of white light. The ray hit Norton. Norton was in a hurry. I was taken aback. And Norton and Subtle laughed. This is a virtual beam of light. It's all right, Norton told me with a smile. But I saw it. That shiny, piercing hole in Norton's body is still there. Suddenly, Subtle exclaimed. He was also hit by a virtual beam of light. Then Subtle and Norton's girlfriend were also shot. And then power. I was the last to be hit. Then we twitched on the blue ground, avoiding virtual beams of light. Despite this, we've all been shot multiple times. Sudale dances the most aggressively, but also the worst. He's been hit by beams of light the most times. The whole person became horrible. There are big holes all over the body. We emerged from the blue ground. All the bright holes in his body disappeared immediately. It's amazing. Then, we went through the doppelganger channel. People walk in this passage. The person in the back will see the person in front split in half, but still walking on the ground. Very interesting. A little scary. We keep going. Suddenly, I saw many sharp knives appear on the ground. The road became bumpy and filled with many unfathomable holes. Norton walked forward without hesitation. And tell us, this is all done by virtual imaging technology. It's not true. The road is still flat. We try to walk over. The road is really flat. And we were slowly finding our way around. Then the pace picked up. And here's the interesting thing. When you step on a sharp knife, you can see that the sharp knife did indeed pierce your foot. Norton and Sudale's girlfriend, and Willie. The three girls walked very slowly. Left behind. I think they are about the same as women on Earth. In this case, not as fast as boys. Norton said you close your eyes and go soon. After saying that, he ran over and pulled his girlfriend to walk with him. Sudale also ran over to pull his girlfriend. Only Willie was left far behind. I felt like I had an opportunity, and ran over and offered him her hand. He hesitated, but still handed me your hand. His hands are also cold. Not soft enough. Much harder than our earthly skin. But it's smooth. Like the smoothness of eels and catfish in water. The surface layer of the skin feels very soft. It's hard inside. Same hardness as the back of the eel. It feels like touching an inflated inner tube with a lot of air pressure. He has very small hands. But the palms are thick. Also plump. But I don't feel like he has bones at all. Since the road is curved, girls are still stumbling. This way my hands and body are constantly touching the power. His body was equally cold. Extremely smooth, but not soft enough. Physical contact with it makes my heart itch. We keep going. Suddenly I saw a downhill ahead. There are many stairs. On the first step, and there's a couple of street lamps there. How many pairs of men? Women standing under this street lamp hugging. I was surprised to find. This street lamp looks like these men and women. Quickly drip a transparent glue-like thing. Wrap up a pair of men and women at once. Become a big ball. Then he rolled down the stairs. And Norton and Suttle brought their girlfriends. Without hesitation, I walked up to this strange street lamp. Turned into a big ball. Rolling down the steps like a bowling ball. I hugged Willie too. Stand under this strange street lamp. Willie didn't reject me. Too bad his head is only as high as my chest. When I feel these clear liquids are about to fall, quickly picked up the power. He spreads his legs. Ride on my waist. Then we are wrapped in clear glue. We hug tightly. Also rolled down the steps. Willie is very excited, especially when lifted high on the steps. On a heavy fall, Willie screamed wildly. I hold Willie tightly. There is an instinctive urge in my heart. The steps are over. We stopped on the ground. That glue is also gradually melting from us. It falls to the ground. Then it flows away like water. When I come to my senses, Suttle and Norton, they're gone. Willie puts his hand on his ear. Probably contacted Norton and the others through the information network. I asked Willie Norton where they went. Leave them alone. Let's go back. Willie rushed up and put his arm around my waist and said, I just had a strange feeling. Let's go back now. Back to my little nest. We continue to feel this way. Okay? Willie raises his left hand. A playful wave in the ear. In an instant through the global movement network. And here we are at Willie's. Willie's house is also very exquisite. Many houses and utensils are round. There are some exotic plants and flowers in it. Lots of translucency. Something like a window screen hangs in the room. It makes you see things vaguely. It reflects the girl's unique personality. The light in the room is soft. It feels like the power is evenly emitted from the wall. How many pets do you have at home? And 2 more robots. Dark red body. It's shaking slightly all the time. It gives you a sense of disturbance. Should be virtual. Willie reclined on the bed. Look noble. The pose is elegant. They're looking straight at me. He said I'm going to give you food. Is carbohydrate. But it's solid. Willie covers his ears. Soon. Some strips of food appeared next to me. On the table. Due to the lack of tableware, I could only eat them with my hands. It tastes good. Some of them are really chewy. Some taste like lettuce. Earthlings are weird. In an unfamiliar environment, always consider someone as a relative. All actions follow this person. I thought of Norton as family at first. Now it seems to have transferred to Willie again. I'm finished. Beauty stood in front of me. In fact, in my heart, countless fantasies. What would your first sex look like? What kind of girl would she be? I never expected it to be an alien planet. And it's an alien. Now Willy's lower body. Suddenly sticking out many thin tubes that feel soft. There are about 100. Serum color mixed with purple. Very dark color. It's extremely colorful. It feels shiny and shiny, covered with sticky liquid. A spiral circle appears in the head of the pipe. The color of the circle is much lighter, but it looks more vivid, like many flowers clustered around it. So, this is the Gothic planet. The most important female sexual organ.